Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Today we'll do another spots related to contraception. Our spots for today, which we are going to cover, are first is spermicidal jelly and the vaginal pessary. Second is the female condom, and third is the intrauterine devices. We'll try to cover the three spots in this practical today. So without any delay, starting with the first spot, that is spermicidal jelly and the vaginal pessary. Now, what is the type of contraceptive? Spermicidal jelly, it is chemical barrier method. Now, what are the advantages? It is easy to use, does not affect the future fertility, does not interfere with the local sensation, can function as a source of lubrication too. Then disadvantages, it has got a higher rate of contraceptive failure if used alone. It must be used immediately before intercourse. It must be repeated before each sexual act. Can cause irritation or burning sensation in the vagina. Must be introduced into those areas where sperms are likely to be deposited. It is messy to use, and its freedom from carcinogenic and teratogenic effect is not known. Now, what is the failure rate? The failure rate is 6 per 100 women years with the perfect use to 26 per 100 women years with the typical use. Now, at which level of healthcare it is obtained? The spermicidal jelly, if we talk about, it is not officially available at any level, right? Under the Indian Program for Family Welfare. So, hope you understood. It is less common, but somehow we should know it as a spot, that it is a chemical barrier method. It is easy to use, does not interfere with local sensation, does not affect the future fertility. These are the advantages. Disadvantages are many. Contraceptive failure rate is higher. It has to be repeated before each sexual act. Then it may cause irritation. It is messy to use, right? Failure rate is 6 per 100 women years, and it is not available at any healthcare facility. Now, coming to the next spot for today, that is the female condom, right? Now, method of use, it is to be worn by the female before the intercourse. The smaller closed end ring fits on the cervix, and the larger outer ring remains outside the vagina. No lubrication is required as it is pre-lubricated with the silicone. Failure rate is still higher, that is 5 to 21 pregnancies per 100 women year. Advantages are that provides some protection from STD, HIV, no systemic side effects, empowers women to protect herself against the STD, HIV and conception. Then if we talk about the disadvantages, as it is less common in our country, right? So it is definitely if something is less common, it is definitely going to be expensive. It needs action just before the coitus. It is need for privacy for insertion and high failure rate as a contraception. Then its use is currently promoted under the National AIDS Control Program. And who are encouraged to use the female condom? That is the female sex workers and men having sex with the man. Okay? So female condom, again I am going to just brush up. That is, has to be worn by the female before the intercourse. Smaller closed end ring fits on the cervix. Larger outer ring remains outside the vagina. Failure rate is 5 to 21. Provides protection against STD, no systemic side effect. Disadvantage will be what? It is needs privacy for insertion, expensive, high failure rate. And encouraged, who are encouraged? So female sex workers and men having sex with the men are encouraged. Now coming to the third one, that is intrauterine devices. This is very important. I think it will be covered, or I don't know if it is covered in theory also, right? So intrauterine devices, they are asked both in practicals and both in the theory. Now they are of two types, that is the non-medicated and the medicated. Non-medicated are inert IUDs, that is the first generation intrauterine devices. Medicated are bioactive, that is they are the second and the third generation intrauterine devices. These release either metal ions such as the copper or hormones into the uterine cavity, right? Because they are medicated, so they are containing copper ions in them or they are containing hormones in them. Now second generation IUDs are copper bearing devices and third generation IUDs are hormone containing devices. ठीक है, तो we have टू कैटेगरीज इन IUCDs और इंट्रायूट्राइन कंट्रासेप्टिव डिवाइसेस भी बोलते हैं और इंट्रायूट्राइन डिवाइसेस भी बोलते हैं. तो इसमें दो कैटेगरीज हैं, एक है नॉन मेडिकेटेड जो कि कहलाती है फर्स्ट जनरेशन और एक है मेडिकेटेड जिसमें कि आते हैं दो जनरेशन, सेकेंड और थर्ड. सेकेंड वाला और थर्ड वाले में भी डिफरेंस है. सेकेंड इज कॉपर कंटेनिंग एंड थर्ड इज हार्मोन कंटेनिंग. ठीक है, ये क्लासिफिकेशन क्लियर होना चाहिए. Now coming to the first one in this intrauterine devices, that is the copper T multilode. Now type of contraception, it is second generation intrauterine device. Copper T जो है वो बहुत important है और बहुत कॉमन है अपने देश में. और यदि क्वेश्चन आंसर की बात करेंगे तो थ्योरी प्रैक्टिकल सब जगह कॉपर टी को वो दिया गया है, क्या प्रिविलेज दिया गया है और इस पे क्वेश्चन पूछा ही जाता है. तो टाइप ऑफ कंट्रासेप्टिव पहली चीज है सेकेंड जनरेशन इंट्रायूट्राइन डिवाइसेस. इसका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन क्या है अब ये देख लेते हैं. इट इंड्यूसेस फॉरेन बॉडी रिएक्शन एंड माइल्ड इंफ्लेमेटरी चेंजेस इन द एंडोमेट्रियम. वाई? बिकॉज कॉपर आयंस इसके अंदर हैं. ठीक है, क्योंकि सेकेंड जनरेशन है तो फॉरेन बॉडी रिएक्शन होगा जब अंदर जाएगा और माइल्ड इंफ्लेमेटरी चेंजेस होंगे कहाँ पे? एंडोमेट्रियम में. There is an associated change in the levels of prostaglandins in the uterine fluids. These changes lead to incapacitation of the ovum. Hence, the chances of fertilization are reduced. The alteration of the biochemical composition of cervical mucus also affects the motility and survival of the sperms. Thus, the sperm is rendered incapacitated and there is prevention of sterilization of the gametes. Thirdly, these changes also change the milieu of the endometrial lining, making it inhospitable for the implantation of the blastocyst should fertilization occur. Right? So, foreign body reaction कराएगा ये, एंडोमेट्रियम में इन्फ्लेमेटरी चेंजेस कराएगा, फिर लेवल्स ऑफ प्रोस्टाग्लैंडिन जो रहते हैं यूट्राइन फ्लूइड में वो भी ऑल्टर होगा, फिर सर्वाइकल म्यूकस का बायोकेमिकल कंपोजिशन भी ऑल्टर होगा और जो एंडोमेट्रियल लाइनिंग में मिलियो हैं वो भी किसी ना किसी कारण से उसमें भी चेंजेस आएंगे. तो ये इसका होता है मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन एट 3 लेवल्स. Now, what are the advantages of copper T? First is simplicity of insertion. It can be inserted at subcenter by the paramedical workers and takes few minutes to insert. Second है इसका effectiveness is long term. Once inserted, it stays in the place till needed. Highly effective. Effective immediately after insertion. Reversibility, it can be easily removed and the removal of the device is followed by return of fertility. No systemic side effects. Then, as no continuous motivation is required, unlike in the pills or condoms, the chances of continuation are higher. Can be used as an emergency contraception if inserted within 5 days of first unprotected sexual exposure. Cost effective, can be used during breastfeeding and does not require any action before the intercourse. So there are n number of advantages and so it is very common in our country. Now, what are the disadvantages of copper T? There is need to replace the IUD after stipulated time. There is a requirement for a trained person for insertion, follow-up and removal. there is a need to follow up for initial few months. Sometimes it may lead to heavy bleeding, anemia can occur because of that, and this copper T does not protect against the STD or the HIV. Now, what are the side effects of IUD insertion, right? So, bleeding can occur during insertion, menorrhagia, heavy bleeding, mid-cycle bleeding. Pain can occur in the lower back pain, abdominal cramps. Then side effects of IUCD subside or resolve within a few months after insertion in most of the women. Now, what are the contraindications to IUD insertion? Now, contraindications, we all know they are of two categories: absolute contraindications and relative contraindications. Now, absolute contraindications means pregnancy क्या क्या होंगे जहाँ पे हमें नहीं करना है. तो प्रेगनेंसी और सस्पेक्टेड प्रेगनेंसी, puerperal sepsis or post-abortion sepsis, vaginal bleeding of unknown etiology, presence of PID, that is pelvic inflammatory disease including STD, cervical or endometrial cancer, diagnosis of pelvic tuberculosis, congenital malformations of the uterus which interfere with proper placement of the device, and history of ectopic pregnancy. These are the absolute contraindications of the IUDs. Now, coming to the next, that is the relative contraindications. First is women with anemia. Then presence of menorrhagia, severe dysmenorrhea or both, endometriosis, women who are less than 48 hours postpartum because of increased risk of uterine perforation and also explosion. History of PID since last pregnancy. There may be a need to rule out any tubal blockage due to this before insertion. Age is less than 20 years as the risk of expulsion and the side effect is more in these kind of women. Then women with HIV and AIDS, and it is not protecting also, we all know that. Then presence of complicated valvular heart disease due to need of antibiotics for the prevention of endocarditis. See, if something is related to heart, if it is there, then the relative contraindication is of IUD. Then uterine prolapse immediately following abortion, chances of infection will be more. Small fibroids and congenital malformations which do not interfere with the placement of IUCD. Nulliparous women, more chances of expulsion, high incidence of side effects in them, and unmotivated person. So, again you can go through all the contraindications of IUCD, absolute as well as relative. Now, what are the instructions to be given to the woman after the IUCD insertion? आपने लगा दिया, अब आपको instructions क्या देना है? What she should do? So, first is she should regularly check the thread or the tail of the IUCD, especially after the first menstrual period following insertion. If she fails to locate the tail, she should report to the doctor. She should visit the clinic if she experiences severe side effects such as heavy bleeding or pelvic pain. If she misses a period, she should immediately consult the doctor. She should report for a routine checkup after the next menstrual period. So these are the instructions, like checking of the thread, and if period is not coming, if there is severe bleeding or pain. So in all the cases, she should report to the health facility or the doctor. Now, what is the failure rate? The failure rate of copper T 380A, right? There are different configurations available, like this number 380A. The failure rate is 0.5 to 0.8 pregnancies per 100 women years. और ये 380 नंबर क्या बताता है? सरफेस एरिया ऑफ द कॉपर. क्योंकि सेकेंड जनरेशन है तो कॉपर आयंस है, थर्ड जनरेशन होता तो हार्मोनल होता. ठीक है. और ये नंबर 380 कहाँ से आया? It denotes the surface area of the copper T. Now, what is the appropriate time of insertion with respect to the menstrual cycle? So, best time for insertion of IUD insertion is immediately after the menstruation, as the diameter of the cervical canal is the largest and one can be reasonably be sure that the woman is not प्रेग्नेंट, राइट, क्योंकि अभी अभी पीरियड खत्म हुए हैं, सर्वाइकल डायमीटर भी है, ठीक है, बड़ी है, तो वो बेस्ट टाइम होता है फॉर द IUCD इंसर्शन. Next best time is any time during the menstrual cycle, provided the service provider is reasonably sure that the woman is not pregnant. Then after delivery, immediately after delivery or within 48 hours, only by a specially trained healthcare worker. And तीसरा है after 6 weeks postpartum, if such a person is not available. ठीक है. फिर आफ्टर फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर MTP, ठीक है, एट द टाइम ऑफ MTP itself, आफ्टर सेकेंड ट्राइमेस्टर एबॉर्शन और MTP और स्पॉन्टेनियस एबॉर्शन, आफ्टर द फर्स्ट मेंस्ट्रुअल पीरियड फॉलोइंग एबॉर्शन, देन लैक्टेशनल एमेनोरिया एनी टाइम प्रोवाइडेड प्रेगनेंसी कैन बी रूल्ड आउट विथ सर्टेनिटी. फिर एज एन इमरजेंसी कंट्रासेप्शन विद इन 5 days ऑफ फर्स्ट अनप्रोटेक्टेड सेक्स. तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कि बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं कि इसको लगाया कब कब जाता है. तो मेंस्ट्रुएशन के समय ही सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है, क्योंकि उस समय सर्वाइकल डायमीटर बड़ा होता है और कंफर्मिटी रहती है, श्योरिटी रहती है कि कोई प्रेगनेंसी नहीं है, ठीक है. और डिलीवरी के बाद लगवाना है तो 48 आवर्स के अंदर लगवा लो. पोस्टपार्टम में 6 वीक्स के बाद लगा सकते हैं. फिर आफ्टर फर्स्ट ट्राइमेस्टर यदि MTP यदि हुआ है तो एट द टाइम ऑफ MTP इटसेल्फ लगा सकते हो, ठीक है. और लैक्टेशनल एमेनोरिया है तो हमें कंफर्म करना पड़ेगा कि प्रेगनेंसी नहीं है और तब लगा सकते हैं, ठीक है. तो ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि इसका टाइम ऑफ इंसर्शन क्या है. अब ये जो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हम लोग देखने वाले हैं ये भी बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है, स्पॉटिंग में हमेशा पूछा जाता है एक ना एक बार छोड़ के. तो इसको देख लेते हैं. हु इज़ द आइडियल कैंडिडेट फॉर द IUCD इंसर्शन. तो देखो क्या क्या पॉइंट्स हैं, सब लिखना पड़ता है वहाँ पे. 1. Who is more than 20 years of age, has given birth to at least one child, has no history of pelvic disease, has normal menstrual period, is willing to check the tail of the IUCD, has access to follow-up and treatment, then is in a monogamous relationship. तो ये पॉइंट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं कि 20 साल के ऊपर होना चाहिए, एक बच्चा होना चाहिए, PID नहीं होना चाहिए, मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल नॉर्मल होना चाहिए, और टेल जो है उसको समय समय पे चेक करे और फॉलोअप के लिए भी आए समय समय पे. ये चीज़ें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ व्हाट आर द इंडिकेशंस फॉर द रिमूवल ऑफ IUD. कब हमें ऐसा लगेगा, चेक कर रहे हैं, एग्जामिन कर रहे हैं कि भाई इसको निकालना चाहिए, कैसे. तो पहला है मेडिकल इंडिकेशंस, जिसमें कि आता है एक्सेसिव ब्लीडिंग स्पेशली इफ लीडिंग टू अनीमिया, persistent abdominal cramps or pelvic pain, PID, neoplasm of the genital tract, displacement of the device inside or outside the uterus, menopause. फिर पर्सनल रीज़न हो सकते हैं, जैसे कि वुमेन वांट्स टू डिसकंटिन्यू द यूज ड्यू टू सम रीज़न एंड वुमेन वांट्स अनदर चाइल्ड. और तीसरा है नीड्स टू रिप्लेस आफ्टर द इफेक्टिव लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ द IUD. तो 3 प्रकार के इंडिकेशंस हैं हटाने के लिए. एक तो वुमेन को यदि वापस से प्रेग्नेंट होना है तो निकाल दिया, छोड़ दिया तो फर्टिलिटी रिटर्न हो जाएगी. दूसरा ये हो सकता है कि उसका टाइम पीरियड ओवर हो गया है, जैसे कॉपर टी 380A की बात करें तो इसका पीरियड जो रहता है जब तक ये काम करता है वो है 10 साल. 10 साल हो गए तब निकाल दिया. और तीसरा मोस्ट कॉमन है मेडिकल इंडिकेशन, जैसे कि एक्सेस ब्लीडिंग हो रही है, एब्डोमिनल क्रैम्प्स है, मेनोपॉज है, जेनाइटल ट्रैक का नियोप्लाज्म है या PID है, कोई मेडिकल कंडीशन वैसी आ गई, ठीक है, तब भी इसको निकाल सकते हैं. नाउ देयर आर सम कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ऑफ IUCD. लेट्स सी देम. फर्स्ट इज द हैवी ब्लीडिंग एंड अनीमिया, PID, यूट्राइन परफोरेशन, प्रेगनेंसी, displacement of the IUD, ectopic pregnancy, expulsion of the IUD. At which level of healthcare can one get an IUD inserted? So IUCD can be inserted at the level of subcenter, PSC, CSC or hospital facility by a trained healthcare provider. Now there are some variants. Let's see what are the variants of copper containing IUCD. Copper T200B, Copper T380A which is most common, Copper 7. मल्टी लोड की बात करोगे तो L Copper 250, कॉपर 375, ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और कॉमन भी है, और नोवा टी. विच वेरिएंट ऑफ कॉपर टी और कॉपर IUCD इज करेंटली अंडर द यूज, राइट, इन द नेशनल फैमिली वेलफेयर प्रोग्राम. सो कॉपर टी 380A सिंस 2002. प्रीवियसली जो यूज करते थे वो था कॉपर टी 200B, और उसको फिर 2002 में कॉपर टी 380A से रिप्लेस कर दिया है. I hope the IUCD is clear. It is big, but it is easy and it is very important. सेकेंड जनरेशन IUCD होता है, फिर इसका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन देख लेना, सर्टेन एडवांटेजेस डिसएडवांटेजेस देख लेना, फिर इसका व्हाट इज़ द साइड इफ़ेक्ट्स क्या हो सकते हैं, ठीक है, फिर कॉन्ट्रा इंडिकेशंस, मेडिकल रिलेटिव एब्सोल्यूट, फिर सही टाइम क्या है, ठीक है, फिर इसको निकालने का सही टाइम, लगाने का सही टाइम, कॉम्प्लिकेशंस, आइडियल कैंडिडेट, फिर कहाँ अवेलेबल है और कौन सा वेरिएंट अवेलेबल है. सो ऑल दीज आर इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग्स. आई थिंक इट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट spot in contraception, so you should do it nicely.